What's happening, everybody? All right, so I'm going to try to get through some of our releases here of indicators that we have not had time to bring out here to YouTube yet and show you what we've been up to. But I'm going to try to keep these short and just give you a basic overview. You're looking at two different offerings of ours here. On the left-hand side, you're looking at a new indicator called Riverrun. And on the right-hand side, you're looking at an indicator called Disco Cowboy. And they work together, and one is used to trade trends and one is used to trade reversals. So let's start over here with Riverrun on the left-hand side and kind of show you what it's about. This is the age-old, tried and true method of stacked moving averages to let you know when you're trending. And when they are jumbled up, crossed, or not in order from smallest to largest, you know you're in a chop or some kind of a range. So what you're looking at here, you have got these ATR lines. If you notice, a lot of times price after you're in a trend, you take a pullback against that moving average and you enter long and you go up, and when you hit that second to last ATR line, you're going to be coming back down to the moving average. So that is a good place to take profits. Otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to set your target way up here, hope that it's going to get there. But a lot of times when it comes to scalping, you can take your profits there. So for example, you come up here, this trend starts, and you know that because all of these moving averages are aligned in order, except for our slowest one at this point. But it comes up, it pulls back to that first moving average, which is an 8, and you enter at the break of that previous candle and you take your profit somewhere up in this second to last ATR band. You can wait for it to pull back again. You can take your next entry there. You can exit in the second to last ATR band. So you have two choices when you trade like this. Some people just jump in. Once they're in, they're just going to hold it for the whole trend until it comes down and closes inside of their bands. Myself, I like to kind of take my profits and bank them. Okay, so there is that. The good thing about this is it's going to help you throughout the day, especially if you're a newcomer, especially if you're trying to get your legs under you. This indicator is loved by newcomers and pros alike because it is just a tried and true way of trading. Nothing entirely original about these bands. The way that we've put these particular ATR calculations that we have together are pretty neat. The cool thing about this is when your moving averages are not stacked up, all these blue ATR bands will turn red, signifying that you are not stacked and you don't have the highest probability. So you know, these are all small trends coming up here. This is a kind of a big swooping rangy day we're looking at here. This was, I believe this was yesterday or the day before. This was the 19th. Today is the 21st. This is 2 days ago. And so you can choose to trade these when the bands fan out and there's some space in them. When your EMAs fan out and there is some space in them, it lets you know that you're in a trend. When they start to get choppy like this and they start crossing and they're not fanned out and pointed upward anymore, you know that you are in some chop and this is where you're going to get cut up. So here, this is pre-market. Let's kind of look at the right side of my chart here, and we'll look at what this looked like going into the trading day. So as we go forward here, we're still in sort of a chop. These bands would all be red if we were in a live market, telling you to stay out of this stuff. And then the market opens. Very first thing you see, big old blast off candle up there. And your EMAs are all in perfect order, fanned out, perfectly straight up, looking like a pitchfork. At this point right here, you are looking for a pullback. which we got to this particular first EMA here. And just like the last one, the best way to trade this is to enter at the break of that previous candle after the pullback. We would enter long there, and we would take that up into the second band up here. This is where I would exit, about right there, and you would have banked that. And you would have got, in that case, 244 ticks out of that move alone. Okay, so we are still in a trend here. We got another pullback to the 8 EMA, which allows us to enter at the break of that candle right there and ride that sucker up to somewhere in that area right there for another 172 ticks. So you are done for the day at that point. We are, it's 9:49. You're in the market for 20 minutes and done. Great way to trade the open, especially if it's going to be a trending day. So at that point, we got another pullback, which was good for another run there if you wanted to. But as we got up here and these two bands crossed, this background would have turned red and it would have been telling you to stay out of all of that until you get back over to here again, and you would have had that little pullback there and that run up if you wanted to. But we're also in a clear uptrend now. You're above the long moving average and the medium long moving average, and your bands would have been a mixture of flashing red and blue when we got to this point here, and they were stacked again. This would have been a blue background telling you we were trending. As soon as we got back to here, it would have been red again, and it would have been keeping you out of all of that stuff. All right, so that is Riverrun in a nutshell. All right, so that brings us over to Disco Cowboy. This is our reversal trader, and this is a set of bands with a unique calculation of a center line here that attempts to contain most of the price action and does better than Keltner channels, Bollinger Bands, or any other kind of standard bands that come with your platform for containing that price action. They are non-repainting. And what we do is, my favorite way to trade these and the safest way is for wait for the bands to come, wait for price to come outside of the bands and then re-enter the bands and then take them back to the center line. That is one of the best ways to trade this. You can make a great trading system out of both of these where you can create some rules for yourself. One of the sets of rules that I've come up with that's pretty good is just entering outside of these bands and taking it back to the second ATR line down. So in this case, you would have had something like 44 ticks on that little run back to that line right there. You could also take them back to the center line for a total of 135 ticks on that. You can trade this with varying degrees of risk. One of the things that I'll do from time to time, depending on the price action I'm seeing, is I will start scaling in micros one at a time as we approach that line, because it takes a very large and hard excursion to get outside of these lines. And that's great for those of you who have problems with patience. This will keep you patient all day. If you just want to take one or two trades a day that are high probability, you can just watch these things. You could be doing whatever else you're doing. If you're trying to work, if you work from home and you're trading at the same time and you can't dedicate your full attention to the chart 24 hours a day, you can sit and let this run. We have alerts that go off when we cross outside of this band. The other night, I was sitting on the couch and my charts were running and I heard the alert go off. We were outside the band and I was able to, during the Asian session, take that all the way back to the center line for about 100 ticks at that point. So yeah, it keeps you out of all of this stuff, the stuff that normally tears you up. And you can kind of just wait. There'll be days when you get 4 or 5 of these that come outside of the line, and there'll be days when you get one But you know, generally, once they're outside of that line, unless we are in a hard trend, and you will always know that because you can scan back over to Riverrun, the last indicator I showed you, and see if we are trending hard based on those EMAs. Once we get to that line, I always glance back at Riverrun. If we're trending hard, I'm going to take my trade on Riverrun and not try to take a reversal. But Riverrun as well, you can be in that trade, that trend trade, and as you come up into the the last ATR band up here, that will generally be another place that you can take your reversal. So if you just want to be trading on one indicator, Riverrun does it all. It gives you the reversals and the trends. But I do like trading these bands. There's something about them that just works for me. So as you can see here, we'll go on. We came out here, we came outside the band, and that gave us, you know, started scaling in my micros here. I might have put, you know, because I generally want 3 to 5 micros, right? So you can get a good amount of money back. 1 micro back to here looks like it's about $100. You know, if you can come in here and you know, I see that we have the current day open below us. I know we're probably going to bounce out off of that, and we have come outside the bands. I can drop 1 micro, maybe down here drop another micro. I see that we bounce off of this, and I get one more chance to throw in another micro for 3 micros. And what you got there is about $300 back to the center of that line there. So this will keep you patient all day long. You could have done the same thing here. You can make a set of rules for yourself on how you want to trade as far as how many bands you want to come back. They don't always come back to the center. So maybe you want to take them at the next ATR line or the ATR line below that, but you can easily scan through many days and just look at where they hit and see if you want to do that. So yep, and here's another one right here. We came down, we came outside that band, and we had 232 ticks back to the second line there. So yeah, it's a great little reversal trader. Works well with the trendiness of Riverrun. You can kind of use each one to sort of confirm the other. You know, if you come out here and you're outside of this band down here and you're like, okay, I need to know whether I'm trending hard and this thing is going to keep on going down, you can look over at Riverrun and say, okay, EMAs are all fanned out. I don't trust that we're going to reverse here. Or you might come down here outside of this line and you look at Riverrun and all your EMAs are jumbled up. Then you can say, all right, so we're chopping, we are not in a trend, and we're ripe for a reversal, and you can take that reversal back up. So that is Riverrun and Disco Cowboy. All right, so come on over to scalpershideout.com. You can check out all of our tools. We've got quite a few. And if you know anything about us, you know that when you buy a lifetime license, you get everything that we have and you get everything that we make into the future. We're constantly dropping new stuff. I can't stop. We just got all these ideas in our head. There's a million ways to trade, and guess what? Most of them work. The real problem is us. It's our psychology that is the standing in the way of us and getting to where we want to go. And it just depends on how you personally like to see the market. So we provide totally different ways to look at the market. So you can go through these different styles and find out which one is for you. Do you like Renko bars? Do you like the fade scalper? If you don't know what the fade scalper is, check out some of our videos. Do you like standard minute bars? Do you like Heiken Ashi bars? We have stuff that specializes in everything. So for Memorial Day week here, after Memorial Day weekend, we're going to be offering 20% off of our lifetime license, not our subscription, but our lifetime license. If you just want to try us for a month, go ahead and get the subscription. You can go through everything we've got and see if it's for you. But if you just want the gift that keeps on giving, you want the best value in this industry, just go ahead and get the lifetime license. You're going to get about, I don't know, I think we got about 15 different things right now. That'll be yours. Some of them are automated and some of them are helper indicators that sort of work modularly. A lot of stuff we try to make modular. So, you might be able to take one of our indicators and use it with Disco Cowboy here to help you get better entries. And they all kind of work together, and they're all really neat because all of them are, well, a lot of them are multi-time frame, and a lot of them are based on things that are not particular to a certain type of price action. So things that use delta, things that use ATR, things that work together well. So you have a lot of stuff to work with here. So come on over, scalpershideout.com, check out our tools section, and you can get an overview of everything that we offer. Grab that lifetime license. The discount code will be in the description. Have a good one.